if the Washington Commanders are going to make it to the playoffs like me and you expect, Sam Howell is going to have a breakout year. Why are you so high on Sam Howell, and why you're confident he's going to break out in 2023?
Man, the reason why I'm so high on Sam Howell is for a lot of reasons. One, he had started at UNC as a true freshman. Headed into his final year there at Chapel Hill, he was on the Heisman watch list. Unfortunately, the season didn't plan out the way it did. He wanted it to for him because pretty much he had to carry the team. He lost all of his offensive firepower the year prior to the draft with De'Ami Brown coming to Washington and Daz Newsome and the running backs there getting drafted. He lost a lot of offensive firepower, so it was a lot put on his shoulders, and he tried his best. But after his final year there in Chapel Hill, he went in the draft and he slipped to the 5th round. A lot of people believe if Sam Howell would have came out the year prior, he was eligible, he would have been a 1st round pick. You hear his head coach there at North Carolina talk about him. It's going to be a 30 for 30 on Sam Howell one day of how good he is. And that's coming from your college coach. Man, he has all the attributes. The only thing that you could say about Sam Howell that he really can't control is his height. He's not the tallest quarterback, but he has every attribute that you look for. Strong arm, accuracy like no other. He has the athleticism to escape the pocket, extend plays, and he has the body build to take hits. So that's really the only thing that you can say about him. And just mentally and just how he is as a person, you can just tell he gets it. He's not a cocky guy. He's a quiet, humble guy, but he knows how to lead a group of men. And you hear his teammates, he hasn't even played a full season yet, but you hear his teammates talk so well about him, like a Terry McLaurin, like a Jahan Dawson. They talk so well about how Sam Howell is able to just lead a group of men and just the way he prepares and the way he is on the field. Eric Bieniemy said it best. The best thing he loves about Sam Howell is that he's auto corrects himself. Sam Howell does not make the same mistake twice. And although he only has one NFL game under his belt, it definitely is a breath of fresh air and something that we haven't seen here in Washington. Like, honestly, JT, man, he just gets it. It's though he's one of those guys that just gets it mentally and physically, and it's really nothing that you can say. You just have to wait and see, man. And I just feel so confident in Sam Howell, and I haven't felt this way since, honestly, Kirk Cousins, man.
So, how big of an impact is a guy like Eric Bieniemy going to have on Sam Howell taking that next step? Because the large reason why I believe the Commanders are going to be a playoff team and why I have so much confidence in Sam Howell is the hiring of Eric Bieniemy. And I think that Eric Bieniemy is a really good offensive mind. A lot of people in the national media will sit on the high chair and vouch for this man to be a head coach. And if this offense is going to be good, it's going to come down to how Sam Howell performs. And you look at what Eric Bieniemy did with the Kansas City Chiefs during his time there. Obviously, we don't know how big of an influence he had on Kansas City's success. We just know that he played a part in that success, which a lot of people around that organization would tell you that. So when it comes to Eric Bieniemy, what have you been hearing about him and Sam Howell's relationship so far, and what impact do you think he's going to have on Sam Howell's development?
Yeah, man. Eric Bieniemy is going to be a positive impact on this team. I mean, he's already made a huge impact, and we haven't even snapped the ball yet. Eric Bieniemy is that guy that every team wants, and a lot of people want to talk about him not calling the plays. That's the reason why he's not a head coach in this league. Man, he has got so much credit from Andy Reid there in Kansas City for their success, especially this past season and in the Super Bowl. But another thing, you want to talk about not calling plays. The same guy that was in that system, Matt Nagy, was in the same situation as Eric Bieniemy. Did not call plays or anything like that, and he still was able to get a head coaching job. So that to me is BS. It's some reason out there why they don't want to give Eric Bieniemy a chance. But I'm hoping when he comes to Washington, he could change that and get the head coaching job that he so rightfully deserves. When you look at Eric Bieniemy, he's the full package. He's everything you want in a coach. He's a guy that's going to coach you hard. He's a guy that's going to lead you to success and tell you what it is. He's going to be upfront about it. Yes, he's going to be hard on you, but that's because he expects and he knows you can do it. This is a two-time winning offensive coordinator. You hear Patrick Mahomes talk so good about him. You hear about Adrian Peterson and Maurice Jones-Drew. That's the reason why he went to the college that EB was at, because of him. And Eric Bieniemy has an opportunity to finally shush the critics, or quiet the critics rather, because there are a lot of people that genuinely don't believe in Eric Bieniemy. But I'll tell you this: if Eric Bieniemy could find a way to get all he can get out of Sam Howell, then he has no reason not to become a head coach. Because although I speak highly about Sam Howell, and a lot of other people speak highly about Sam Howell in this fan base and around the media, there are a part of this media that thinks Sam Howell is just an ordinary fifth-round pick. They think he's just trash. They don't want to give him an opportunity. They just look at him as if he's another Jag, just the guy in Washington. So if Eric Bieniemy could find a way to get the best out of Sam Howell, they're not only going to look at Sam Howell and say, man, maybe I was wrong. They're going to say, you know what? Eric Bieniemy deserves a head coaching job. I think he's going to be so good for this offense and just this team in general, because one thing about it, he's the assistant head coach too. So he's a guy that has mainly the offense to worry about, but he dabbles in the rest of the team here and there too. So he's going to be able to have an impact on this whole team. I mean, at his introductory press conference, JT, when do you see an offensive coordinator getting an introductory press conference as if he's a head coach? There at the introductory press conference, he had Cameron Curl, defensive members there that don't even get directly impacted by this guy, but they were there to support him because they know how good he can be. He's around winning. Anywhere Eric Bieniemy goes, he wins. Again, two-time offensive coordinator, winning Super Bowl champion, always in the AFC Championship. I don't care if he directly didn't call the plays, but he was in those meetings. He was under Andy Reid, so everything that he's going to have from the success in Kansas City, he's going to bring here in Washington. And honestly, again, I would love that. I love that because that's something that we need. The last offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, was not the best, and he did not do a good job at fulfilling and capitalizing off of the talent that he has. This roster on the offensive side of the ball, like I said, again, is one of the best in the NFL, especially that wide receiving trio. And I think Eric Bieniemy is going to do a dang good job getting all that he can get out of these guys.
And lastly, for Sam Howell, if somebody had to come up to you right now and say, give us a stat prediction for how he's going to look in his breakout season, what would it be? I'll give him like 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He completes somewhere around 63 to 64% of his passes, 3,800 yards. What about you?
Yeah, I'll say around there, because we got to realize Sam Howell's a second-year quarterback, but this is going to be his first-year star. So as much as I want to be biased and be a homer and say, oh, my God, he's going to win the MVP, he's going to go out there and light it up, which I'm praying for, I'm also a realist. So I think Sam Howell is going to probably be around that 20 to 25 range. I'll say 20 passing touchdowns, 5 on the ground for about maybe 10 to 11 interceptions for about, let's just say 3,400 yards in total. A solid year, you know what I'm saying? A way, way better year than we've had from any quarterback in recent memory, and definitely should be the way for the future. He should show these guys and this team that I'm here to stay, and I'm the franchise quarterback for the Washington Commanders. So I'll say somewhere around there.